Hi, I'm Jorge Azurin. I'm a technology entrepreneur, and I've been involved in a number of technology companies. I have a number of startups. I've been doing e-commerce and internet marketing, and concurrently, I'm also the regional director for Asia, Continental Asia, for Freelancer.com.
For those people who are listening to us right now who don't know what freelancer is, can you just give them a quick summary of what the company is all about?
Yes, Freelancer is the largest online marketplace for services. We call ourselves the eBay for services. So in eBay, you sell items. In freelancer.com, you sell services. So companies and individuals, if they want to have their logos done, or tutoring, or writing, or web development, or developing apps, they post their project requirements on our platform, and there would be millions of freelancers bidding. And we have over 9 million freelancers worldwide, and we have posted over $1.2 billion in over 5 million jobs. Right here in the Philippines, we have over 400,000 Filipinos. And
As members of
yes, as members of
freelancer.com.
freelancer.com. And given the state that we are in right now on the internet, I would say there are a total of probably 1.5 million to 2 million online freelancers in the Philippines. And we estimate that they're earning currently around 4 to 5 billion pesos in online earnings. That's just for freelancer alone.
And our biggest competition at this moment is India, if I'm not mistaken.
I would say both competitor and collaborators, because competitors because we're competing for them for the existing projects, but collaborators because both India and the Philippines and all the other emerging countries have to show their abilities to convince customers from the first world economies to outsource. So in a lot of ways, we're collaborators with India.
I think you mentioned before in our conversation that one of the latest entrants in the freelancer game is Greece, right?
Yes, we always monitor. We always use analytics, and that's part of doing business. You have
Yes.
to have analytics. You have to analyze data, and we've noticed that there is a great number of freelance jobs being taken in by Greece, and not only Greece. It's also Italy and Spain, mainly because lately the unemployment rate is more than 25%. So where will all of these programmers and engineers go? But go to freelancer.com and start getting projects.
You seem to have a great love for startups. Can you share with us where the startup industry is in the Philippines at this time?
Yes, we call the startup industry the startup ecosystem because it's not just composed of developers and entrepreneurs, but we also have investors, we have the media, we have the government agencies, and even students and freelancers. So we call that the startup ecosystem. And this ecosystem is fairly young. It's 2 years old. Fairly young as compared to Silicon Valley, but we're almost the same as anybody else around the world. Startup scene in Kuala Lumpur, in Singapore, or even in Moscow. So this is fairly new, and this is a very, very exciting time for anybody who wants to go into the startup scene.
What about online business? In the Philippines, where is the online business at right now in terms of maturity?
Okay, we started. If you're going to look in terms of how we started first the online business when we had the first dial-up, and we were able to do some few online transactions, and then the telcos were able to develop broadband capability across the country, and one of the first successful companies that were doing online business at that time was Sulit and Island Rose, And also my startup at that time was businesssummaries.com, where we develop content and we sell it in the United States. And then towards the early 2000, we saw the rise of online bookings for Cebu Pacific, and then the rise of the group buying sites. And then after that, we have the e-commerce sites now, like Zalora and Lazada. And now overall, we have currently we estimate that we have an e-commerce market of $1.2 billion
In the Philippines?
Yes, and that's just for the local. It doesn't even count the e-commerce companies that are selling outside of the Philippines. Of course, a big majority would be the airline bookings, but according to the World Startup Report for the Philippines, the market is huge. The market is very, very big for e-commerce right now. And what is very important to know is the competition is low. What does that mean? You practically throw your hat anywhere, you land anywhere, you're going to start making money.
But is it true that the competition is low in all industries or just specific industries?
There are industries that already have competition or has already matured. That would be messaging like SMS or Chika, and then there would be the group buying sites
Like Cash Cash Pinoy,
like Cash Cash
Groupon.
Pinoy and Metro Deal. And then there are the ones that are in their infancy, like e-commerce, dating site, social discovery.
Dating site is still in its infancy in the Philippines?
Yes, that's right. Social news, and then practically none yet when it comes to healthcare, transportation. So you're really looking at an industry where you can really decide on what business you want to go to online, and you can really start doing business.
Why is it compelling for a business owner nowadays who already has an existing bricks and mortars business, meaning they have a physical location?
Yes.
Why is it compelling for them to take their business online?
The market for e-commerce worldwide is $1 trillion, and they can see in their own eyes transactions are being done online. I've seen local multinational companies, and they've been talking to me, and they've been given directives from their mother companies to start selling online. Everyone is going online, and the Philippines is a very natural place for online marketing. We have, of all the users in the Philippines, 94% are in Facebook, and social network plays a lot in e-commerce. So we have a very ripe population right now for buying anything online. Not only for consumers, but even for B2B, business to business.
So you think this is not just something trendy, but something more that is sustainable over the long term and really a permanent migration to another type of business platform?
Yes, I strongly believe that this will be the norm. Basically, if you don't go online, you're not going to survive.
So how many years do you give the Philippines from now until maturity in terms of the online business?
My personal estimate is in less than 2 years. We should be mature in terms of accepting online payments, improving our logistics. But in terms of opportunities, it's going to be in the decades to come. And right now, what the trend is, move traditional businesses, your brick and mortar, into the online platform. And then from the online platform, you expand further. Like you can probably do mobile transactions on your iPad, on your smartphone. And then from there, who knows where technology is going to bring us. What we're seeing in other countries is the load for the cell phone is being used as payment transactions. And now I'm talking to Smart and Globe, and they're now discussing where the load is going to be a currency. There's a lot of regulatory
Hurdles.
roadblocks right
Yes.
now, but we're moving there. We're moving
A
there.
friend of mine from Australia actually developed a software application
Yes.
wherein you could buy your tickets for concerts
Yes.
through your mobile.
That's
And
right.
he made a lot of money and eventually sold the company.
Yes.
So what you do is you buy the ticket online, and when you go to the concert, they just scan the phone.
Yes. That's
So
right.
it's basically ticketless.
Yes. Everything is going to be like that, and in terms of transactions, everything will be done via mobile, and even countries like Kenya, where 70% of the GNP is done already via load. They just transfer load. Their payroll is being done via SMS, and they pay for goods and services via the loads that they have. So almost every country, even in the United States, we see that load or your load on your cell phone is going to be currency, and that's going to be very very exciting.
I had a very strange experience in Amsterdam about 3 years ago when I went to a grocery store. There was a big sign, and they were serious. They do not accept cash currency.
Yes, that's right.
I was in complete shock. I said, what store in their right mind does not accept cash? They don't. They
Yeah,
only accept debit cards.
that's right. That's right. Not only that, but even in Korea, where when you take the subway train, you can see from the ads when you sit on the coaches, you see the menus of groceries or any other items. They just click. By the time you arrive at your apartment, the grocery has been delivered. So you order while you're traveling, and by the time you go home, your groceries are already there. And that's how I also envision the Philippines.
With the Filipinos, do you think that will also be the case to the same extent as the other countries? Because culturally, we are a very social people. We like to do things with friends, with family, with colleagues.
That's
So
right.
when you go online, it's almost as if you take that social component or doing the group thing away from the transaction
Actually,
or the activity.
yes, that's right. On the contrary, the social our values on social interaction is going to play a big part, because online transactions being very impersonal, social interactions matter a lot. Like the power of the likes on Facebook means that you're endorsing a product,
Mhm.
and that's social interaction. So that's going to be online e-commerce, but there's a good endorsement from behind, by your friends, and we may be a little behind in our economy, but you have to remember for 2 years straight right now, we're the fastest growing economy in the world, in Asia, and in 3 decades from now, we estimate that we'll be the 16th largest economy in the world by virtue of our population.
And we are double our population. We're going to be 200 plus million in 2050.
Yes, and for the first time, having that big a population is an advantage, and that's what I've been telling a lot of people to prepare for such an eventuality. And the only way for you to really have a very very good business is to go online. And if you're selling things, it could be things or services, you better be prepared for e-commerce. You must know e-commerce. You must know how to set it up. You must know how to
How to run
market,
it.
and you must know how to adapt to new technologies, or else you wouldn't still move forward. So it's very very important for these businesses to start educating themselves. They have to learn all of these things. Of course, they can just read, but it's very very important that there's some sort of a formal education or mentoring for them.
So you are unequivocally a believer in the online business.
Yes, that's the way to go. I foresee that the big portion of the country's GNP would be coming from the e-commerce market.
I can really sense your enthusiasm about online businesses, but there will always be doubters out there. So, if I were one of those doubters, what would you say to me?
Um, of course, doubting is, it's natural thing. With what you've been reading about scamming and hacking, hence, I really suggest by educating yourselves, you would know which ones are true or not, which ones are worth working on, and we will be able to tell you which methods work, which ones wouldn't work, what types of marketing programs would be working. They may be working before, but we can tell you which ones are not working now, right? And what could work also in the future. So for these doubters, it's really very important to be educated formally.
But I think also for somebody not to participate in the online business, you are giving up so much upside. Is that not correct? That there is so much upside that you will give up if you stay just bricks and mortars, because so many people are already online. The market
Yes.
is already ripe. It's
Yes,
ready.
that's right. And we're this smaller startups are leading the way, and now you have Shumart and San Miguel. They're now doing their own e-commerce initiatives, because they may be giants now, but they may be toppled in the coming future. So that's why they have to go into these e-commerce initiatives as well.
You teach, don't you?
Yes.
And where would you recommend a business owner who has currently a bricks and mortars physical retail store to go so that they can learn how to build properly their online business?
Yes. That's why for every big or small business, or even an individual who wants to move into e-commerce, we suggest taking a quick professional course. And like for our case, we have the e-business specialist program, where we teach you how to plan for an e-business, how to do digital marketing, and all other modules, so that at the end of the program, you are very, very comfortable, you are very, very
Knowledgeable.
confident and
Yeah.
knowledgeable that you're going to e-business, into an e-commerce platform, and you're going to do very well.
So this is basically like an entrepreneurial program, except it's online.
Yes, that's right. It may be online, but there are real people behind them,
Yes.
and I'm one of them.
Yes.
I'll be monitoring everybody, and
So in this program, you will be mentoring the participants as well.
yes, that's right. I'll be there. I have a wide range of experience already in a one-man business, an SME, or even a large corporation going to online. So I'll be able to share my experience, and I'll be able to mentor these students.
For more information about this e-business specialist program, where should people look for this information?
Yes, it's very simple. All they have to do is just go to iACADEMY.iidmprograms.com. That's iACADEMY.ii. That's double I. dmprograms.com. And all they have to do is just fill out the forms there, and they're already registered. Very easy.
Thank you for talking to us today.
Thank you very much.